Hello and welcome to the video. I think many of you that clicked on this video that follow the channel understand what this video is going to be about. And I'm sure there's several of you that clicked on this video expecting to see something else. But we are talking about naked models, but maybe not the naked models you're thinking of. We are talking about scale plastic models, and the naked part being building them without paint, zero paint, completely naked. That is the kind of short and long of the group build that I'm going to be putting on. It's just a naked models group build, and we're going to have a little fun with the title to go along with it. This video might run a little long as I'm trying to just go over some details, give you some ideas, do all that. This isn't really an official start date. This is kind of a pre-warning to the group build coming, which I'm going to put for a start date of December 1st. And right now I'm thinking December 1st through January 31st, a 2-month window. I think it'll be pretty good. But if you guys feel otherwise, please let me know. We can have time here. We're about 2 months out. I can make some changes, kind of clarify it, and then maybe 2 weeks from December 1st, I'll put out another video kind of clarifying everything, and then we can go from there. But right now I'm going to go through all of the kind of who, what, when, where, why stuff with the group build, and then we can either cut this in to that 2-week out video or just reference it back to this one. So again, we're talking about naked models, doing these models without paint, but there are a few exceptions that we're going to allow. And first off is bare metal foil or chrome markers. If you want to add in some of the trim work, by all means, go ahead and use your bare metal foil, your markers, or whatever you're using for your trim. Other things that can be used, Sharpies. If you do your trim with markers, by all means, go ahead and use a Sharpie. Also, you can use your black or maybe in gold to bring out some of the script work. We're just using this stuff for detail, just kind of highlight and accent some of that detail work. And speaking of some of that highlighting detail, panel liners are okay, whether you use pens or the liquid type, by all means, again, those are okay. Not necessarily paint. We're building it without paint. We're just trying to add some detail and make it look a little bit more defined. And other things that you can use for detail, by all means, use any accessories that you want. They are not paint, so anything goes as far as detail work. Whether you want to add distributor wires, photo etch, anything, aluminum, whatever you want, that is all fine. That is not paint, so anything goes. So I think that covers the what of the group build. We'll cover the when again. I am looking at December 1st through January 31st. Unless you guys say otherwise, I think that 2-month window is a pretty good time frame for this, since we're not doing any of the painting. We're not waiting for things to dry. You could even do it like a craftsman kit. You could probably knock that out in an hour or two. Most of us could probably do one of these builds in a weekend. So I think a 2-month window is fine, but if you guys think otherwise, especially if you guys are gonna go hardcore and do all the massive detailing and with like 3 months or something like that, by all means, let me know. We'll figure it out. We have about 2 months till the kind of start date. I will do a reminder video about 2 weeks out, whether that's just kind of a replay of this video or just a reference to this video. But about 2 weeks out from December 1st, so hold your entry videos until we reach that December start date, please. We can get into the whys. I have a few of them. We can talk about the time frame. Well, in the U.S., especially in the north, that is dead winter, kind of right in the middle of winter, where many people do not have a place to paint if they don't have something already established indoors. So it's really hard for anyone to find a time to paint. Well, here's a group build that pretty much anybody can get into. There's almost no excuses to not be able to get into this one. A lot of people don't have places to paint any time of year. So again, another way to just kind of join in, share that experience with some of the others that don't get to paint. And at one point, I was one of those people when I was very young. Before I could paint models, I was just building them right out of the box, just as they were. This is a blue metallic Revell Chevelle. So that's just kind of the way they were. And especially when you look back at the vintage cars, there's many of them that were built this way, just raw plastic, slap some decals on it, and go play with it. So again, it's just kind of a throwback to the simpler times, not trying to stress about the paint, just building it right out of the box. Maybe it's not so much the place for you, but maybe it's the actual task. Maybe you struggle with painting, have a lot of problems with it. We've all been there. We know that struggle. We know how it kind of deflates that build. So again, here's a nice time to just build the build, enjoy it the way it is, and not have that stress of painting. Another thing you can do is some practicing and not stress about that painting. For instance, the bare metal foil, get some practice in on that bare metal foil. You don't have to worry about slipping and scratching a nice paint job or chipping or peeling. Kind of redo it, clean it back up, start over, however you want to do it. Get some good practice in with that bare metal foil, get some confidence with that. Some more practicing you could do is doing some sanding and polishing. These plastics will take to sand and polish just like a paint finish for the most part, and you don't have to worry about burning through. You can work on sanding seam lines and polishing up the body, create a really nice finish. Here's a hood. I just did maybe 2 minutes max as far as hand polishing. Hopefully that's showing up for you guys. It looks like it has a clear coat, but that is just a quick little hand polish on that. This is a metallic green. It might have some swirls in it, but it just gives it some character. Again, hopefully that's coming across for you. Just a quick little hand rub. You don't need any machine polishing. That polish will, or that plastic will look like it has a clear coat on it. As we all know, there's many of these kits that are molded in colors other than the neutral whites and tans that most of us prefer when we go to paint. But here's a chance that instead of complaining about all those molded in colors, we just can embrace them, enjoy them for what they were, enjoy them for the way many of us build, many of us used to build, the way it was for the majority of us back in the day. And again, just kind of taking one of those red models that you always worry about bleeding through and just polish her up, enjoy it for what it is. I think that covers many of the whys. If you have a different why, don't let that stop you from jumping in. We can move on to where, and where can you jump in? And that is everywhere. No matter where you are, you can jump in on this group build. If you're on YouTube, obviously do your normal group build type things. If you're on Facebook only, check out my Facebook group, Sodakmodelcars. On YouTube, I'll leave a link in the description for that. It'd be a great place for everybody in the group build to kind of share and join. Even if you're on YouTube, please jump in on that Facebook group. If you're only on Instagram, by all means tag me in some of your photos so I can follow along, and then I'll try to drop some of those in their own video or in one of my videos. And if you're not on any of those social media platforms, by all means, I have an email. You can throw up some videos or throw up some photos. Leave a description, and most importantly, leave a name that you want as a screen name. So if you don't want your whole name out there, let me know. Otherwise, if you just want John Doe or John S or just Mr. Smith, whatever it is, make sure you tell me so that I can tag your photos appropriately for you. I think that covers most of the W's, like the what's and the where's. The only thing that I kind of require as far as posting is an entry post and a final post. If you want to do updates, you can do a daily update, or you can do no updates at all. However you want to handle that, that's all I ask for. You can do your entry anytime, kind of in that 2-week window leading up to December, into December, and then you can post your finals again whenever you'd like. No kind of set end date, just whenever you're done and ready to post, by all means do it. And along with all of those posts, especially for the video guys, I would like at least one picture from you. You can send 2 or 3. I would like to do a full collaboration video at the end of people's photos. And on those final photos, make sure it's a nice clean background. Have a blank poster board or a blank sheet, blank towel, whatever it is. Don't just take pictures on a messy bench. Just have a nice clean background of just the model. Then I can just have a nice series of photos that we can look at the end. Again, make sure you're leaving whatever name that you would like with your photos, with those photos that you leave with me. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach me. Again, this is just no paint, December 1st to January 31st, unless you guys decide otherwise. And then post some entries and finals, and then at least one final photo with your name so we can do a collaboration video there. And I'll just kind of end it off again with some more ideas for you. Get the ideas going for you. You've got 2 months to get your parts together or kind of slot in a time window for it. Again, basically anything monogram pre-2000s was molded in plastic. They had a metal glow series with a couple of Mopars that had like metallic reds, metallic blues. As you see in the Chevelle was a metallic blue. That hood was like an AMT Bonneville kit that was metallic green. AMT's got the Catch the Cat with some metal flake stuff. Speaking of metal flake, Revell had an old metal flake. If you guys want to pull one of those out, I know they're pretty pricey, but that's probably the best way to build them is without paint. Add some detail or foil to them and just let them shine the way they are. As everyone knows, Joe hands are often colored plastics, and a thing that you can do with all these colored plastics is start mix mashing. This is not a box stock build, so if you want to take like a blue body, a white interior, a black frame, an orange engine, black radiator hoses, whatever you want to do, I would absolutely love to see somebody go all out with all the colors, all the detail. I think that would be absolutely fantastic to see. So again, there's some ideas. Get them rolling in your head. You got 2 months to kind of gather parts. Like you want to mix mash some parts, by all means go for it. Don't forget about parts packs. This is one of the Dragmaster chassis. You got like the Moon Eyes chassis in yellow, and it doesn't have to be colored. It could be chrome. Bust out some of the parts packs. You got a chrome engine, chrome chassis. Throw it on a body, or if you want to do a different colored body, whatever you want to do. You could do an all chrome build if you wanted. As long as it's not paint, it's a wide open place to play. So with that, we'll see you next time.